So today, the students are going to be in a simulation where the mannequin actually go into cardiac arrest and see how the students respond, see if they pick up on the monitor, and see how they respond to a code blue situation where they're trying to resuscitate the patient in a group team effort.
How are you feeling right now? Do you feel any different?
I'm okay.
Yeah? Do you mind if we start by taking some vital signs and assessing you?
Okay, Patricia, this is some amiodarone. It's a pill that's going to help control your heart rate and maybe put you back into what is a normal rhythm.
When she crashed, it's a little nerve-wracking.
Her respiratory status is declining, so as of right now, we're going to hook this ambu bag up and try to maybe give her some oxygen through there.
She still has a rhythm, but it's kind of like a big pause in between. We're like, okay, this isn't good. So we're like, how do we get this back? Where do we start? Who does what?
She's not breathing adequately. Do you want to flop the bed? We're going to give her respirations. Trisha.
Rapid response. Yes, 161.
She does have a pulse. But she still has a slight pulse. It's just very, very slow.
I want 2 people on the chest, 2 people behind Julie on the chest. Lift that chin up. There you go. Just keep compressions.
How are you feeling, Miss Patricia?
122/90. Hi, welcome back. How are you feeling? For a little bit.
The biggest thing students take from this is in a code situation, it's all about teamwork.
I definitely learned a lot of collaboration, and ultimately the goal was to learn how to save a life.
As a person, I have learned probably more through this sport than I have anything else in my life. I learned self-motivation, how to be dedicated and really work towards something. Everybody in this world is too focused on being comfortable, and my whole thing is trying to kind of push that limit a little bit. That's something I really attribute to my success here.
At a school like Stevenson, you really get to know the students, not just as athletes, but as people as well. And I've had a really good opportunity to get to know Pat, not just on the cross-country course and the track, but also as an individual. And he's grown a lot as a person and as an athlete, and it's really been an honor to coach him and see him develop.
Stevenson, for me, was a lot different than a lot of the other colleges I applied for. It was a lot smaller, and I accredit my choice of coming here a lot to the coach. You know, he had a lot of experience. He had a lot of big plans for his athletes. And him being 2-time Baltimore Marathon winner had a lot to do because I knew he had the experience. He could get me where I wanted to go. He really individualizes things. Instead of putting people in large groups like I've seen at other universities, he really focuses on the things outside of running that are the little things that help you become successful at this sport. Going into one of the biggest races of my collegiate career, I wasn't as nervous as I thought I'd be. That nervousness, however, did hit me on the way to get over to the course. Coming down the final straightaway, it hadn't really hit me what I was doing and that I had such a lead. I looked over into the crowd and saw my dad and kind of give him a fist bump and got a big smile on my face and just ran through the line. And I was kind of just in shock. It really means a lot to win because it's really hard to win an individual national championship for cross country because it's only one guy that gets that. And I just feel like all the hard work paid off and it was a huge relief at the end of the season.
As a coach, you're not always going to be able to have somebody that can win a national championship, but our goal here is to not just have the best possible athletes, but the best possible people.
Music for me really developed into a full-out passion during high school. I was involved in band, orchestra, and choir, and I had leadership roles in all of them. But the reason I decided to be so involved in the music program here was just because it was programmable into my schedule, and it's just something I'm so passionate about. As a communication major, it's important to me to have as many different outlets to communicate and to express myself. As long as you're willing to learn for any of the ensembles we have, then we have a really good staff that's able to help you learn and progress with your instrument. Most of my positive memories actually come from being involved in the music program. If I had to think back to some of the things freshman year that helped me make it through freshman year, first of all, it has to do with me being in band, making friends with my section, and just getting more involved in the program. Since I am in band, orchestra, and choir, I have so many different ways to express myself. I have so many different challenges to take on and try to learn from. Music is a huge part of my life, and I'm so glad that Stevenson has the opportunities for me to express myself.
Esports is playing competitive games at the highest level possible against, in our case, other schools. So basically it all started with me and a few friends. We got together and started playing League of Legends together. We wanted to make a team, and then over time they gave us a room to play, and since then we basically started adopting other games that we felt would be very competitive. And today we have a full esports arena now with 25 gaming PCs where students can come in and play those games together.
When I looked at Stevenson University, I knew the psych program was very good, but I didn't know really of the esports program. But just entering the room and just seeing people just trying to game and do their best, essentially, as a team and coordinate and talk about the game here was an environment I'd never really seen or been a part of ever before in my life. So when I first went into the esports room, I knew immediately this was the school for me.
At orientation, I actually saw a presentation about the esports club, but I didn't know that it had an Overwatch team. I'm a commuter student, so I'm not on campus a whole lot. It's very inclusive. This is a good way for me to meet friends and hang out with people on campus.
I think that the esports program allows students to work on a team just like they would on any other sports team, but in this case it's for video games. It also helps students in their coursework if they are a technical student, if they want to do video or social media. You know, all these things are involved in our club, so being able to provide that for the students I think is really important.
The college flock that we started here at Stevenson is the first of its kind and is our first effort to really engage with college students where they are on campus.
Today we're very excited to have Jacoby Jones on campus and come speak to the Stevenson community. He was on that 2013 Super Bowl team and he took back that 108-yard kick return.
Mentally, I wasn't gonna be told no more. Like, you weren't gonna tell me I can't be great. You're not gonna stop me from my goals or what I wanted to achieve in life.
The overall goal of the club is to expose the Stevenson students to how the professional sports industry is run, and what not a better way to do that than have the Baltimore Ravens, who are right down the street, give us that knowledgeable insight.
We chose Stevenson to be the first ever Ravens college flock because of the great relationship we've had with Stevenson over the past 25 years almost. This was the Colts practice facility back when they were here back in the 80s. This was the Ravens' first practice facility when we got here in the 90s. And we've had a great relationship of having open practices here for fans to come to. We've had many staff members come over and do different talks with different classes here. And we've had great interns come from Stevenson to work with us throughout the organization.
One of the opportunities that we have coming up is a panel discussion with the Ravens people in the organization. And what we want to do is we want to bring business communication, HR, legal, kind of just to get that feel of the sport management industry and get that real world experience that other people across different campuses in Maryland cannot say that they can get.
First thing Isaac Newsom told me was, just be yourself. Like, they let you be who you are. It's a family. Like, everybody love each other, like, it's crazy.
The thing about the Ravens is that people that leave the organization, they always have something good to say about it. If you have enough respect, and they have enough respect to treat you equally. And that's what I think makes the Ravens special.
Social-emotional development is about the same thing that academic development is about. But have you been taught practices that develop kids' social-emotional learning? So my point is that you're doing some of this, but you as a future teacher needs to teach for social emotional learning with intention. So we're going to get into it in kind of a light way. I want to see which group can build the tallest Jenga. When your group gets to this table, you will construct a spaghetti tower. After you finish the activity, I will cue you. You'll deconstruct it. You'll figure out what learning experiences you've had. And then you'll post a behavioral objective. So when you're constructing, are you is this a lower level cognitive activity or a higher level? So after you've developed your knowledge through experiential learning activities and we're able to deconstruct a few in a fun play way, we'll apply that same thing to the lesson that you already taught.
I learned how to create objectives and how to incorporate them into lessons for the social emotional learning theory.
I think that I'll be able to use this in my current and future teaching experiences by having instructional lessons that will benefit them.
Because when we talk about how kids behave and how it's a problem for us in the future, I do think in part it's because we haven't been addressing it as clearly as we can in the educative environment.
The project title is In Freedom's Name, and it commemorates the contributions of Maryland's black men and women to the expansion of freedom in the world. It was conceptualized by the Maryland Military Historical Society. It was researched and put together as an exhibit by students in the public history program, and it was funded by the Baltimore National Heritage Area.
One of the important things about a project like this is that it's bringing stories that weren't necessarily told to the forefront. And that's a big part of what public history is it's telling the people's stories. So it's focused on the stories that are not really heard as much. And that's what's really awesome about an exhibit like this is you walk into it and you begin to really see and understand a lot about black history, especially in Maryland.
I learned how to set up an exhibit, how everything needs to be taken care of, but also you learn that these people are real and you have to think of the impact that you're having by telling their story and making sure it's right.
The things we achieved in putting this exhibit together are things historians and public historians do on a daily basis at the professional level. And here, Stevenson students learn it while they're undergrads, a task which is usually not learned until you're well out into the professional world.
I'm Dr. Jeremy Burkett here in the chemistry department at Stevenson University. Today we're going to take a look at a cool example of one of the ways we can use a specific chemical reaction to help us in the world of something like crime scene investigation.
So here we have luminol and here we have hydrogen peroxide, and when the two are mixed, the bonds broken in luminol create a reaction that releases light.
Some chemical reactions might release heat or absorb heat during the course of it, but very rare ones can release pure light.
This tube lets us see the reaction best as it continually runs down the tube rather than just pouring it in one beaker and just seeing it disappear. Now we're ready to begin the demonstration. Goggles, lights, and now we'll pour.
Now, as you can see, when the two chemicals come in contact, the reaction starts. One of the bonds in luminol starts to break, and every time it happens, light is emitted. You can see that blue glow, and that tells you that the reaction is happening. And here at Stevenson, we really try to get our students involved with cool experiences like this so that they can see how the science they learn in the classroom can impact the real world.
The fact that you could be a freshman in the legal studies major and right out the gates you could join something as amazing as mock trial is just an incredible experience. In today's case, we have the defendant Dylan Hendricks, who's being charged with the attempted murder of Carrie Bellion, the victim, and I represent Dylan Hendricks on the defense. We're going against a team that's aggressive and pretty savvy in the courtroom, but we're going to use the skills that we learned to overcome that.
It's absolutely necessary to remain objective and not immediately fixate on someone you believe to be guilty.
One of the great things about mock trial is you get to experience it from multiple angles. So you'll experience it as a witness, and then you'll also experience it as an attorney. But to experience it as a witness, this helps you to identify how do I interact with them, what questions would I ask them, and that sort of thing. Because even Dr. Smith's simple testing shows us that Ms. Hendricks simply walking past the Jaywood building would be able to connect to the Wi-Fi without actually entering the Jaywood building.
The trial today turned out to be a great experience, and I think that our strategy played out well because we were all confident, we gave it our best, and what more can you ask for?
So today, the students are going to be in a simulation where the mannequin actually go into cardiac arrest and see how the students respond, see if they pick up on the monitor, and see how they respond to a code blue situation where they're trying to.
Good evening, everyone. Please be seated. On behalf of Stevenson University, I'm delighted to welcome you to this evening's commencement exercises. My name is Susan Gorman, and I serve as Stevenson's Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost. It is so exciting to be gathered together in person today, and we really appreciate and thank you for your efforts to keep each other and your families and friends safe. So with that in mind, we do ask that you please continue to wear your face coverings as we move through the ceremony. Commencement is a celebration, and to help you make some noise in a COVID-safe way, we have provided each graduate and all of our guests with a hand clacker or a maraca. So we hope to raise the roof with our hands today. Today is a day when everyone in the Stevenson community celebrates our graduates, and at the top of the list is our Board of Trustees. Commencement is always a very proud day for them as they watch you graduate. Please join me in listening to a message from Chair of Stevenson's Board of Trustees, Mr. Scott Pugach.
Congratulations, class of 2021. I am Scott Pugach, Chair of the Board of Trustees. A college experience is a memorable time in life. Your journey with us unquestionably took an unforeseen course. Life on campus was clearly different, but we remained determined and you adapted, and we thank you for helping. The university's mission, blending liberal arts with career exploration and planning, aims to not simply prepare you for your career, but also to help prepare you for anything you may encounter in your lifetime endeavors. After all, we learned to measure exactly 6 feet without using 2 yardsticks. We learned to wash our hands and sing happy birthday at the same time, and we certainly gave a new meaning to the term blue jeans. You worked hard to earn your degree. You have become accomplished individuals. Be confident, be curious, be aware, and be optimistic. You are graduating well prepared to meet the opportunities and challenges ahead. But remember, even with all the knowledge you have gained, you are still allowed to say, I don't know. An especially appropriate response when your parents ask you this evening, when are you moving out? For learning, for living the Stevenson way, make us proud of all you do. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, our warmest congratulations. Enjoy your special day. Stay safe, and please, don't be strangers to Stevenson.
It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the members of our stage party this evening. I will ask each person to stand as their name is called, and audience, I ask that you please hold your applause until everyone on stage has been introduced. Dr. Ali Eskandarian, Dean of Stevenson University Online and Vice Provost of Online Learning. Amanda Hestalka, Dean, School of Design and Vice Provost for Outreach. Carolyn Johnson, JD, Graduate Program Director, Forensics, Program Coordinator, SUO, and Professor of Forensic Studies. Dr. Lee Cranbuell, Chair, Communication, Graduate Program Director, Program Coordinator, SUO, and Associate Professor of Communication. Dr. Tracy Mason, Graduate Program Director, MFS, CSI, and Professor of Chemistry. Dr. Lisa Moyer, Graduate Program Director for Education, Program Coordinator, SUO, and Assistant Professor of Education. And then there was one. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Stevenson University's President, Dr. Elliot Hirschman.
Welcome. It is my great pleasure to join our entire community in congratulating our graduates. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the support of family members and friends who join us who have helped make today possible. Congratulations. Congratulations also go to our faculty and staff members, represented by our platform party, who have taught and mentored our graduates. Congratulations to you also. To our graduates, you have overcome great challenges to be here today. Facing the extraordinary circumstances of the COVID-19 pandemic, you have shown resilience, you have innovated, you have persisted, and today you graduate. And for all of these reasons, we pay tribute to you. In academic tradition, graduation is referred to as commencement. Thus, today is a beginning as well as an ending, and today you are joining our proud alumni tradition and scanning all of you. I see a number of you are double alumni, so double congratulations there. As you join our alumni, I wish for each of you what I wish for my own adult children and grandchild. I hope that you will continue to learn and to grow, that you will laugh and love and be kind, that you'll embrace a noble purpose in your life, and that ultimately you will become the person you hope to be. Of course, challenges lie ahead. The last year has certainly taught all of us that. I can, however, assure you that no matter the twists and turns, you are prepared. You've shown you have the capacity to learn, to grow, to be kind, and to meet challenges that were inconceivable to us even a few years ago. As your life and career develop, we hope you will return often to your university, to your roots. We will most assuredly welcome you back. You graduate today with our affection and respect. We're deeply honored to have shared a part of your life and very grateful for the part that you have played in the life of this great university. Congratulations, graduates.
Thank you, President Hirschman. Stevenson's faculty are the bedrock of each student's academic experience. Please join me in listening to a message from Dr. Jeffrey Elliott, Professor of Psychology.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jeff Elliott, Chair of the Psychology Department. Graduating seniors and guests, let's reflect for a moment on hope. Desmond Tutu, the African theologian and human rights activist, once said, "Hope is being able to see that there is light despite all of the darkness." Certainly, we are living in dark times, enduring the COVID pandemic, racist attacks on Blacks and Asian Americans, and mass shootings. We've experienced isolation, fear, and loss. Indeed, some of us may even have lost hope. But to quote Franklin Delano Roosevelt, president during the Great Depression in World War II, Americans have always held to the hope, the belief, the conviction that there is a better life, a better world, just beyond the horizon. Today, the horizon is represented by your graduation, the culmination of years of hard work and persistence. In these years, believe it or not, by overcoming adversity, you have emerged stronger. You have developed resilience to meet the inevitable ups and downs that life will bring, and you are prepared to meet the demands of the future. You, as some of the first graduating seniors from Generation Z, represent our hope for a better life and a better world. I am convinced that we will all benefit from your generation's appreciation of diversity and inclusion, your commitment to social justice and to change, and your ability to envision creative yet pragmatic solutions to the world's problems. You, graduating seniors, are the light in the darkness. You will lead us to those better days to come, just over the horizon. American singer-songwriter Patti Smith declared in her song, "People Have the Power," that people have the power to dream, to rule, to wrestle the earth from fools, and through our union, to turn the world around. Graduating seniors, by working together, you have the power to make this world a brighter place. You are the light in the darkness of our times. You are our hope. Congratulations, you've made it. Go forth and do good things. Thank you.
It is now my privilege to introduce this evening's student commencement speaker, Susan Marie Belmar. Susan worked as an attorney prior to enrolling in Stevenson's Master of Arts in Teaching, or MAT program. She discovered a passion for teaching and decided to follow her dreams. Halfway through the MAT program, Susan was hired as a math teacher at a private high school where she still works. She is a proud Stevenson graduate and loves her new career in the classroom. Please join me in listening to Susan's message.
Hi, I'm Susan Belmar, and I'm a member of the Master of Arts in Teaching program class of 2020. 2 years ago, when I first started the MAT program, I was looking for a change. But what I found was a transformation. I'm a career changer, and this wasn't my first master's degree, but it has definitely been the most impactful educational experience in my life. I was a lawyer, a wife, and a mom of 2 when I started. Now I'm a teacher, a wife, and a mom of 2. But I'm also so much more thanks to Stevenson. Over the past 2 years, it often felt impossible to juggle everything, and Blackboard became my constant companion. The laptop went wherever I went, and I just slowly chipped away at the work. There were many late nights and a few occasions where I fell asleep writing a paper and woke up just in time to turn it in before midnight. I even remember having meetings in blue jeans for a group project from the sidelines of my son's soccer game as I tried to juggle it all. 5 months into the MAT program, I was offered a teaching position. I was doing field experiences at my dream school as part of my courses. The principal called me in on a Friday and asked me to start teaching the next Monday. The saying is true that it felt like trying to build an airplane while I was flying it, but Stevenson and my family were there for me, helping me sort it all out and encouraging me every step of the way. I had many failures in the classroom that first year, but I found a new passion for my online coursework. I had the chance to try out everything I was learning and see it in action. It wasn't theory anymore. It was what I was going to use tomorrow in the classroom. The biggest lesson I learned was that I had to be myself and not try to copy other teachers. As a lawyer, people expected me to fit a certain mold. As a teacher, that mold just didn't work, and I learned that I needed to be myself to succeed. In the midst of all the chaos of juggling everything and feeling like maybe I just wasn't cut out for this, I found a new me and a new passion. I was hired permanently by the school, and I still work there today. As online students, we have the advantage of flexibility, but that can also be our downfall. It takes true grit to complete a Stevenson master's degree. Throughout the first year of the MAT program, I struggled to find my own voice in the classroom. My experiences learning online helped me to understand the need to be flexible and resilient when working in the community. I even had to let go of my ego and ask for the occasional extension on an assignment when I just couldn't juggle it all. I learned how to breathe, how to let things go, how to make time for myself, and how to accept being less than perfect. But I also gained a drive to look for new and better ways to do things, to not accept the status quo. And I had the realization that what I contribute really is more important than what people think of me. Letting go of the image of myself as an expert and embracing the mindset that I'm a lifelong learner who's capable of ongoing transformation has been Stevenson's greatest gift to me. I got what I hoped for when I started the MAT program. I'm a new and different person, ready to continue what I started here and hopefully share my story with students. Be proud, stay strong, keep learning, and never be afraid to change direction. But be yourself. That's when the magic happens.
And now we are ready to begin the most exciting part of the whole ceremony for all of us. Mr. President, will you please join me on stage so that we may introduce to you the candidates for the degree Master of Science. These candidates have completed all requirements for the degree, and the faculty asks that these degrees be conferred.
I invite all candidates for the master's degree to please stand. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, and upon the recommendation of our distinguished faculty, I confer upon you the master's degree with all of the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations, graduates. Please be seated.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ali Askandarian, and I'm the Dean of Stevenson University Online. I would like to thank Dr. Hirschman and Dr. Gorman for their leadership and their participation in this week's many commencement activities. Their commitment to keeping Stevenson safe over the last 14 months has made it possible for us to be together on campus today celebrating your graduation. Degree candidates, please, when prompted by the marshals, you will approach the stage maintaining a bit of distance between each other. When close to the stage, you will swipe your grad pass. One by one, you will ascend the stairs to the stage, pick up a scroll, walk to the middle of the stage, pause momentarily for a photo, and then continue walking across the stage.
Marusala Johannes Abish. Sarah Apale. Beth Cherie Arbogast. Joy Morgan Arthur. Latoya Latrell Banks. Madison Faye Buser. Dallas Amaray Carter. Jesse Stevens Serta. Brian Alexander Cruz. Rachel Michelle Davies. Brianna Nicole Dorsey. Alyssa Marie Dunn. Samantha Page Edwards, magna cum laude. Shamir Pamela Sandra Ellis. Rosny A. Farrell. Shanika Fong. Melissa Ann Gibson. Kristen L. Hamill. Yasmin Latrish Hilton Bay, magna cum laude. Pamela Denise Johnson. Brianna I. Jolly. Janae Kemp. Donna Renee Crosscup. Heather Parr Stewart Lang. Alexandra Lauren Lahosky. Leanne Elizabeth Metcalf. Melanie Elizabeth Milam. Camille Renee Miller. Amanda Miser. Mariam Ayudeji Nephew. Courtney May Pardo.
Courtney is also the recipient of the ORCF Young Leadership Award.
Diana Marie Patterson. Tracy S. Pizer. Stiera Deanna Reed. Rachel A. Reinbold, summa cum laude. Sarah Rachel Roberts, cum laude. Laura Elizabeth Robusto. Elena K. Reisner, magna cum laude. Jessica Nicole Rutledge. Hannah Ruth Samuel. Aria Ivana Maria Sims. Jasmine Kalila Smallwood. Keisha L. Sosa Salgado. Davina Faye Tramuel.
Sarah Nicole Turner.
Caitlin Ann Ward. Lyndon R. Watkins, Sr. Lindsay Ann Wishar. Brashay Iman Wells. Jessica Lynn Ferry.
See, we have a lot of enthusiastic family members here. That's great. Please allow me, on behalf of my fellow dean and the distinguished faculty members on the stage, as well as the dedicated staff who've worked very hard to make this possible, to congratulate you all. Congratulations, graduates. And now, please stand as we listen to Katerina Manabet, class of 2023, sing the alma mater. Congratulations again. The Stevenson University 67th commencement exercises are now concluded. We ask that the audience please remain in your seats and in the gym until all of our graduates have filed out in their recessional march. At that time, you may then join the graduates outside for pictures. Thank you.